We are set and ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FGL. First race of roll-up starts now in partner forward.
Stand by. Race.
You're going to have Patrick Long opening it up for the Gainesville Wild. Alex Velez opening up for the Orlando Aces. Megan Medeiros standing in a hash mark will relieve Velez once he finishes his set. Remember, teammate must be in the hash mark for your repetitions to count on the element.
And as you may have heard when the race first started, you could hear a horn. There was a fault for the Wild. I think they came out a little too hot right before the MC said race.
Pre-match jitters, we can blame it on that. But Long looking to make up some ground. Velez and the Aces just about 1 to 2 reps, I think. If you're watching at home, referees are in those black polos. You want to look for the referee's hand to go up. That's going to let you and me know they've got less than 5 reps remaining.
Yep, they're looking at, for these pistol stick jump overs in quadrant 1, these are 6-inch sticks, and they have 9 repetitions. Now, if any of the players are to knock the stick off of the stands, they have to place them back themselves. They cannot be assisted by anybody.
4-rep lead for Velez and the Aces once again. Normally in partner forwards, you usually see the same pair do the majority of the elements and repetitions in the first 2 quadrants, and then they'll switch out partners.
Yeah, usually both teams will do the substitution right after quadrant number 2. It gets much heavier moving into quadrants 3 and 4, and of course they've already worked so much. Although the reps are going down, it's going to get much heavier as they move into quadrant 3 and 4. Another fault there looked like for the Wild.
Yep, and we hit a fault on the side of the Aces, opening up a potential door. If you knock over the PVC pipe, you, the athlete, the player, must retrieve it and place it back before you continue. No one can help you. And a fault on the Wild side. Again, opportunity here as the Aces are going to switch it out. It's going to be Daryl McNeil and Taylor Stallings, head coach, owner, and player, moving into quadrant number 3.
Yep, and this is Billington on your screen trying to wrap up those pistol stick jump overs for the Wild. Now we're looking at McNeil for the Aces, switching out with Taylor Stallings in quadrant number 3. She's got her hands on 2 45-pound kettlebells, and she's got 5 reps with those.
If there's anyone that's going to catch Stallings and McNeil, it's right here on your screen. It's Griffin Raleigh and Amanda Fisher. 2 Grid League rookies, not rookies to the competition floor as far as fitness goes, but on the Grid League, rookies. And let me tell you, they're acting like veterans this entire season.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at Griffin Raleigh here, he's got a 15-inch stick that he must jump over. 5 reps in quadrant number 3. Now we're watching McNeil. Here's on your split screen, on your right, McNeil, quadrant number 4. Those are 70-pound kettlebells. He's got 3 reps, switching out with Stallings. She's got 3 reps, 53 pounds in each of her hands, and then they're going to move on to an 18-inch pistol stick jump over, only 3 reps.
Here's when it gets spicy. That is a tall jump, and McNeil making it look easy on the right side of your screen. Here's Stallings, 3 repetitions, and then the Aces can take the first race of this match. Opening up big time here. Momentum from their previous match win, carrying it over into this race.
Yep, and Stallings came out celebrating. She was going nice and slow on those pistols, not taking any chances with knocking that stick off, because that would have opened up the door for the Wild. The Aces ended up taking 2 points there, and the Wild will get 1 for finishing under the cap.
You saw Taylor Stallings there. Later on today, we're going to see Janine Nicole. Right now, he's an amazing player feature on both Taylor Stallings and Janine Nicole, and how Grid has brought their relationship to become even stronger.
How would that even look? Like, as far as me being a coach, owner, and everything, and then us having to play together, work together, like, this is really going to test our relationship. I told her that she had to try out for the team, and she was our unanimous pick. I was scared and nervous the entire time, leading all the way up until the first match, because I'm intense. I know I'm very intense.
It caught me off guard a little bit, I think, on the first practice. I was like, oh wait, I can't like go over and just give you a kiss, or like, yeah.
We tried to keep, when we're on the team, in the practice and everything, just 100% business.
As a coach, right, she's so motivational, and like, I know for me, Like just the way you just pour into people on a day-to-day, and then just still having that energy and all that love to still like bring that into our relationship. It's like two different pots, you know? Like I like baking cheesecake, right? I like baking cheesecake, right? So it's like I have to make two separate cheesecakes. I have to make one for the family, right? And I make one for home just so that we can have some and she can have some. And that's like, you know, that's our love and support, right? We pour into people on a day-to-day, but like we make sure we have enough to support and pour into each other and stuff.
Now I want cheesecake.
I know. We support each other in everything, like all aspects. We both have the same type of background, whether it was college sports, high school sports, all that. There are a lot of days when you do question things and you're like, why do I do this? You know? We are there for each other in that.
We compete with everything.
We do.
We're two high level
even like going to bed at night and turn the light off. Like, it's like...
We pick and choose our battles.
We pick and choose. Yeah,
it's been fun.
It has. You know we have to talk about it.
Better not be what I think it is.
Yes.
We are not talking about it.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
I told you no.
Why not?
I can't.
Come back!
I cannot.
Come back!
I can't.
Welcoming you back to the action. What an amazing feature on both Taylor and Janine. You can watch the entire thing up on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. We got tons of great grid sports content on there. Speaking of content, we got our sideline reporter, Cassie Martinez, all match long on the sidelines. Cassie, what's going on with both teams right now? How are they feeling?
I'm here in between the Orlando Aces and the Gainesville Wild. I had a chance to speak to Taylor Stallings earlier. She told me she wasn't entirely comfortable going against this Gainesville Wild team. They look very confident. She said she was very looking forward to how well they communicate on the grid, but she doesn't feel comfortable knowing that they do gel well together. They're a very good team. They're pretty cohesive. It's going to be a great matchup. Everybody's very hungry, so we're going to see what happens. Back to the table.
Thank you, Cassie. Looking forward to everything you have to report on all match long. And Joe, I mean, Taylor Stallings might say she didn't feel comfortable coming into it, but she looked comfortable on that partner forward, and she's going to be comfortable on this mirror. What can the fans expect on this next race?
All right, well, looking forward at the mirror. Now, there's a required number of repetitions for both genders to complete in each quadrant. Today, it is 7 repetitions in each quadrant. Both genders must finish their sets before anyone on the team moves to the next quadrant. Now, the barbell cannot touch the ground, and if it does, all players must run to the start line before continuing. Any player on the grid may assist supporting the barbell as long as it is not during the movement being performed. Now, looking forward at the movements for today, we've got hang snatches. For the men, 175 pounds, and for the ladies, 115 pounds. Now, once this barbell comes off the ground, as we mentioned, it cannot touch the ground. If it does, they all have to go back to the start and then pick up where they left off in their respective quadrants.
Yeah, we saw it earlier today in the match between the Wild and the Brigade. Brigade pretty much had the mirror won in that fourth and final quadrant. They dropped the barbell, opening the door. Wild took the race. So it's really a communication, it's a teamwork, and it's just staying calm, cool, and collected throughout the entire race, not allowing for that mistake to occur.
And we talked about this in the earlier matches today. It was a thruster, so it was coming from the shoulder. This is hang snatches. This is going to be held at the hip, so when they're handing the bar off, it becomes a little bit more challenging, especially when you want to carry it from quadrant to quadrant.
28 hang snatches, 7 in each quadrant. Don't drop that barbell. Teams are off on your screen. Aces, DeMatti and Boyd opening it up. On the Wild side, you're going to have Fisher and Raleigh closed out the partner forward, opening up the mirror.
Yep, we've already got referees' hands in the air. So now, as you can see, we talked about, they're handing it off at the hip because then they can pick up right where they left off as far as these hang snatches. Might make it a little dicey as it gets further down this race.
Aces were a little bit smoother in that transition. Wild are back at work. You've got Willard and you're going to have McClellar working together while the aces are already on quad 3. You have Hollins and Davis.
Yeah, having a little bit of issue Willard was just wrapping up those last couple of reps. They're now making it into quadrant number 3 as the aces head into quadrant number 4. Only 7 reps remaining.
Maddie and Stallings on your screen. She didn't seem comfortable coming in, but she looks damn comfortable right here on this element. She's done. They dropped the bar. They're going to cross the line. 55 seconds on the clock for the Wild to finish up these 7 head snatches and to get their point.
Yeah, and I won't confirm or deny, or I don't know for sure, but that might have been one of the fastest mirrors we've seen in a while.
Again, it's this ace team, just something feels different. You know, we feel good about the Wild. We do. They finally feel like a cohesive unit with new faces. But the Wild, the aces, it's just, there's a different feeling around them this time around. And you can see on their faces. The Wild look a little uptight right now. They coming out early. 2 losses in the first 2 races, but the aces, though, look, they just feel loose over there.
Yep, and the Wild, they, you know, essentially they didn't blow it, but I mean, they blew it in the championship last year. The Orlando Aces did not get a chance to see the championship, so both of them have something to prove this season.
Aces are trying to do everything in their power. No questions asked. They're going to championship. They want to leave this match right now with no sense of doubt. They're going championship weekend, November 3rd through the 4th.
Yep. And we're getting set up for our first ringer point. It's actually picked by the Wild. Looking forward to that ringer point. We've got suicide sprints. All right, for the men, they're going to that 20-foot mark. So where the quadrant 1 and quadrant 2 begin and end. For the ladies, it will be the 15-foot, the 35, the 55, and the 75. So this is just the old-fashioned foot race.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the players that I'm excited to see, and she's going to be a key player in this match. We're only 2 races in. It's going to be Amanda Fisher. Cassie standing by with Amanda. Cassie, what's Amanda saying?
I'm out here with Amanda Fisher of the Gainesville Wild. She just completed 2 quadrants in the mirror and the partner forward. You're pretty much in everything. How are you feeling right now after just coming off of a whole entire other match?
I'm feeling good. I'm trying not to think about all the work I've done and just thinking about the work I have to do. Like I've said before, I'd die for this team. So I'm out there just thinking 1 race at a time.
Anything that you're doing different knowing that you're already coming off of an entire match going into this one?
Not really. Like I said, trying not to think about it because mind over matter. If my mind's not thinking about it, my body won't be thinking about it. So one race at a time, 1 match at a time, we're going to fight.
True that, true that. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck on the rest of your match. Back to you guys at the desk.
It might be her first year on the grid floor, but she's truly emerging as a leader on this Wild team. And the Wild have selected this ringer point. You said suicide sprints. You walked us through it. These 2 gentlemen are going to run us through it. David Blatt for the Orlando Aces and Geronimo Gottschall for the Gainesville Wild. They are set at the start lines. We're going to count them down. Don't blink. It's going to be fast. Ready and set at the start line. Blatt, Gottschall, they are off. So taking you back to your PE days in the basketball gym, suicide sprints. We hated them. The Wild picked it. Gottschall is moving. Blatt, a few hash marks ahead of him. But Gottschall is turning it up. 4-point touch, back to the start, back to the finish. And Blatt with an entire quadrant. The Wild picked it, but the Aces will take the 2 points.
Yeah, and it looks like Gottschall just grabbed his hamstring, it looked like, at the end there. He ran out of gas, but it was about a full grid's worth. distance, almost 80 foot between the two of them.
Yeah, not what we wanted to see. Anyone pulling up, grabbing the hamstring. Hopefully he's okay, but a phenomenal showing right there by the Aces and Blatt. And I'm not sure if he had his Innovates on, but maybe that's why he took that, because he was moving. And let me tell you, if you ain't rocking Innovates, I'm not sure what you're rocking. We'll be right back after this message from Innovate.
I love Element Salt a lot.
Hardcore Element user.
Element's been awesome.
Element.
I've been using Element basically every day. I love it.
I was, back to working out and wanted to make sure that I stayed hydrated because that's so important for your supply.
It was a game changer for me because all through high school and college, I would always cramp. This generally comes from that mineral imbalance. Having Element T, in my training bag keeps me hydrated. It's phenomenal.
It rejuvenates me in the workout. It's what my body craves and it's what it needs after sweating so much. It's definitely helped me get through really long, tough workouts and just give me the energy that I need in order to keep pushing through.
After that quick break, we are right back into the action, waiting for the official update on the scoreboard. But right now, we're going to jump into our Echo races. Joe, a little bit of why they're called Echoes and what to expect.
Absolutely. Well, it's in the name. The teams are going to perform the exact same race twice within a 45-second break in between. Now, players can substitute at any time. One player may be accumulating reps according to the designated number of element repetitions at that element station. Now, only one player may perform element work at any given time. Looking at the elements for this race today, we've got for the males, overhead squats, or for the ladies, front squats. So it's a 155-pound barbell shared between the two. They chip away at 30 repetitions any way they choose. From there, dumbbell burpee over 20-inch box, 20 repetitions. For the men, 50 pounds in each hand, 35 in each hand for the ladies. And then 30 double touches, essentially a toe to bar into a chest to bar. And then finishing things off with barbell hang. It's a 125-pound barbell. For the men, it'll be a hang snatch, and for the ladies, hang cleans.
Right on time. We are set and ready to go. One male, one female working at a time. Gainesville Wild, you have DiDomenico and McClellar lined up. DiDomenico will open up with some front squats with that 155-pound barbell. On the side for the Aces, it looks like you're going to have Lacey Boyd and Ryan DeMatty. DeMatty opening up with the overhead squats. It's great to see Boyd back in some action. Last year suffered that Achilles tear. Now she's back on the grid floor, getting ready to set up for her front squats.
Yeah, and actually starting with a male athlete makes the transition a little smoother, which you just saw. Well, here we're looking at the Wild. When the Wild were handing it over, they had a little issue with the Aces. They went from the overhead right into that front rack on Boyd, and she started chipping right away at those front squats. So we'll see if that pays off, which it looks like it did. They're about a couple of reps ahead of the Wild. McNeil now on your screen with Trisha Davis chipping away at these dumbbell burpees over that 20-inch box. 50 pounds in each hand for the men and 35 for those ladies.
Patrick Long and Amanda Fisher on the screen right now for the Gainesville Wild. Fisher is rocking her Skyhill Skyhill USA sweatbands. You see her rocking the pink. Skyhill USA, our prime sponsor, presenting this live stream for you on YouTube. We go to that wide view as you see Davis and McNeil on the left side of your screen, Fisher and Long on the right side of your screen. Hand is up on both sides.
It looks like they are neck and neck, maybe one rep separating these two teams. Substitution coming in for the Wild. Same thing now for the Aces. Trisha Davis tagging in. Looks like Durant for the Aces.
You got Velez and Durant on that Valor Fitness rig. You've got Billington and Adams for the Wild.
Yep, and they've got 30 double touches, and they can chip away any way they want. This is not really a movement that can be butterfly or waterfalled, so you're going to see some substitutions based on who the stronger gymnast is.
Wondering how that's going to factor in. Aces used 3 players on this element, while the Wild just used 2. You have Taylor Stallings in that 4th quadrant. Who better than Stallings?
Nobody.
In defense, the Wild send out McGillivray. McGillivray gonna hand it over to Hibbard. Stallings, I don't know if she's ever gonna give Hollins a chance. She will.
She did. You know why? They have a second race. They're thinking about maybe the end. If she's got gas in the tank later on, she may go unbroken.
Hand is up on the side for the Aces. Alex, Hollins, and Taylor Stallings take the first of 2 echoes.
Both teams easily finishing under that cap. Now we've got 45 seconds. They're going to head back to the start line, and we're going to do this thing one more time. Now, from what I could tell, the Aces easily took that race. I don't think that Taylor Stallings necessarily needed to hand over that barbell. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see the bonus flag tossed here the way that went.
It was pretty even throughout the entire point. I think there was a little bit of a hold up for the Wild on quad number 1 with the overhead squats.
Yeah.
So excited to see if anything changes, but that's 4 straight race wins to open up this match for the Aces, looking to make it 5.
Stand by.
They are off. It's going to be the Maddie opening it up once again for the Aces. It's going to be Scott waiting in the ranks this time instead of Boyd. On the side for the Wild, we're going to have Willard, who opened up with the front squats.
30 times.
And then McKellar going to be there waiting in the ranks. Same kind of strategy they started with as far as McKellar going second with the overhead squats. A little bit of a hiccup there on the side for the Aces.
Yeah, as he was handing that bar from overhead into the front rack, as I mentioned in the first half of this echo, it looked smooth the first time. That time was a little iffy, but still close. Now, the Wild's hands are up. Only 1 rep remains. 2 reps for the Aces. So now the Wild have pulled ahead. They're about a 1 rep lead going into these burpee box overs.
Again, they've switched places now. We saw the Aces start off 1 rep lead on this part of it in that first echo. Now we see the Wild with the 1 rep lead. It seems like they swapped. It was a clean run on the overhead squats for McClellan this time. Hiccup on the switch changeover for the Aces.
Yep, and this is one of those things requires just practice, timing. As soon as the feet of the other player hits the ground, you got to be chest on the ground, ready to go.
Hand is up on the side for the Wild. Hand is up on the side for the Aces. Last one for Patrick Long. Here comes Billington. Davis to close it out for the Aces on the left side of your screen.
So Velez is now on the right side of your screen. He just got started. He's about 6 reps or so behind on those double touches for the Wild. That's Justin Adams on your screen. Now you're looking at Megan Medeiros, both chipping away at their double touches. Toe to bar into a chest to bar for each repetition, 30 total for each team.
whatever adjustments were made by the Wild, it seems to be paying off so far, but again, we can't count anyone out as Taylor Stallings runs over to that fourth and final quadrant. Adams had to jump down. That might cost him. McGillivray opens up for the Wild. Stallings for the Aces. It's going to be neck-to-neck, picture-perfect finish coming up.
This is going to come down to transition for sure. Does Stallings hand that bar up, or does she just back her way to the finish line and go for gold here?
Griffin Raleigh looking to close it out for the Wild. Stallings hands it off to Hollings, looking for the hand to go up. It's going up on the Wild side. It's up on the Aces side. Hollings, Raleigh, can Raleigh do it?
Oh, and there was a fault for Raleigh. Raleigh got really excited. He was about maybe a half a second ahead. Had he completed that rep fully, that race would have gone to the Wild. Fault was called. They got pulled back. Both races now going to the Aces for that echo.
We talked about it beforehand, and ultimately it comes down to the team who can make the least mental errors. We felt Raleigh got a little bit ahead of himself there. I get it. You've lost 4 straight in a row. The Aces, however, never looked flustered. They kept going, stayed consistent, stayed calm, took that race, making it 5 in a row to open us up. I mean, what more can you ask for from the Aces right now? There really isn't much. We'll see if they can go for 6 in a row after this break.
Grid Wars! Yeah, baby!
Excited. This is going to be fun. I like stuff like this. Being able to coach and get people into it and have them have their first grid experience, it's going to be a good time.
Nervous, excited. I've never done this.
Really nervous, but it's going to be fun. Wish me luck.
Kill it. 1, 2, 3, Junior!
That was the spark we needed. It's electric in the air, baby.
Now we can do the mini grid.
Was amazing. The race was so funny.
All comes down to this, Mike. Let's go.
I think we're going to be all right. And once we win this one, we win the whole thing.
No, back away.
That's horsemanship over here.
Fuck you! Pretty much gonna do the whole thing, and then I'm gonna run across and win. What'd you do? Come on. What happened? I'm just kidding, Maya. I love you.
6 a.m. 6 a.m. Forever the best. She beat me. Champ. Champ. Champ.
Once again, thank you to Slate Milk for fueling our players and staff this season with their high-protein, clean-ingredient chocolate milk. Find it at your local grocery store like Publix, Walmart, and Wegmans.
Teams are set and ready to go. Again, that is 5 straight race wins for the Orlando Aces. Right now, a 5-point lead as they lead the Wild 10-5. Again, there's no better time than in the moment, Joe. So right now, honestly, I think the most important race of the match right now for the Gainesville Wild, that's going to be the ladder. What do they have in store for them?
All right, looking forward at the ladder. Now, you can accumulate as many points as possible. It's a maximum of 10 points per player. Teams can accumulate these points throughout successful lifts. Now, the weight and point value increase moving down the grid as you see here on the screen. Point value is equal to the quadrant number and is 1 lift attempt per bar. Now, a player can skip any bar, but they must move forward. And if the final ladder score difference is 10 or more, then the losing team will not be awarded a match point. Looking at today's ladder, we have thrusters. For the men, quadrant number 1, 205 pounds, quadrant 2, 225 pounds, 245 pounds in quadrant number 3, and capping things off at 265 pounds in quadrant number 4. For the ladies, in quadrant number 1, 130 pounds on that barbell. Quadrant 2, 145 pounds, moving up to 160 pounds, and then capping off in quadrant number 4 at 175 pounds.
No better chance than right now for the Gainesville Wild. They got thrusters on deck, but let me tell you, man, the Orlando Aces are going to continue throwing blows. They're looking for the knockout punch, and this might be it if they can take this win.
And the Wild got to do everything they can to just keep that point difference up heading into the rest of the matches today.
We are off. Megan Adams opening up for the Wild. In the green on the Aces side, you're going to have Olivia Scott. Adams on your screen through 3 quadrants as she gets that number 3. Going on to quadrant number 4, 175 pounds. Here comes Olivia Scott. Megan Adams, 175.
No good. Scott does get quadrant number 4, that 4th barbell, like you said, 175 pounds. Now we're at Long. He's in quadrant 2, that barbell, 225 pounds, heading into quadrant 3 at 245. He's got it.
Long did skip quadrant number 1, so the most points he'll get right here is 9. Hollins did start through, so if he clears it, he'll get 10. Long does 9 points for the Wild. Hollins going for a total of 10 points. That's 20 total points right now because Scott did clear the floor for the Wild. McGillivray on the floor for the Wild as Trisha Davis comes on the floor on the Aces side.
Yeah, making that bar look very light. 3rd quadrant, 160 pounds. McGillivray got it. And this is Trisha Davis in quadrant number 3, 160. Also not an issue for her.
McGillivray clears the floor. Trisha Davis looking to do the same. Getting another 10 points for the Aces. Trisha Davis locks it out.
Good. Now over to the Wild with Griffin Raleigh. Quadrant 2, not an issue. We'll see him pretty easily go through these 3 last quadrants. Also opting to skip quadrant number 1. Now we also left out, these teams have 4 minutes to get their players through the entire ladder. They accumulate all these points, but they only get 1 shot once they head out onto the grid.
Here comes Amanda Fisher on your screen. Again, emerging as a leader on this Wild team. Can she keep these guys together? Can she keep them in this match?
Looking good. That's Taylor Stallings now on your screen. Quadrant number 3, 160 pounds. Easily putting that thing overhead. Now heading into quadrant 4, 175 for Taylor Stallings. And that is up.
Easy money for Stallings. Here we've got the Grid League rookie in McClellar. Over onto quadrant number 4, 265 for David McClellar. Can't quite lock it out for McClellar. On the side for the Aces, you're going to have Serrano.
Serrano Got it.
245.
Number 3, that's 245.
He's going for 265. Angel Serrano gets the clean. Angel Serrano, can he lock it out? Yes, he can.
And this is Di Domenico now in quadrant number 3, very easily putting up that 160. She's going to go for quadrant 4, that 4th barbell. She's got it down and shoots out from under it, no good.
Meg Medeiros on the Aces side, less than a minute on the clock. Medeiros locks out quad 3, she'll skip quad 4. Justin Adams on the floor for the Wild.
Adams going for quadrant 1 and then choosing to exit the grid, giving some more time to other players, possibly, well, to be able to give them some more opportunity at points. Looked like he had a little bit of trouble there to begin with.
McNeil through 2. Willard through 2. Willard on to quadrant number 3. 20 seconds. Willard can't quite lock it out for the Wild.
Now the Aces have Alex Velez heading out to quadrant number 2, 225 pounds. He has it.
Wild were able to go through all 10 of their players. 3 seconds left for Velez. Can't quite get underneath it.
And so he will get points for what he completed while he was out on the grid. He doesn't have to cross the finish line under the cap, so we're good there.
So a strong showing from both sides. We'll tally up the points, get you a winner when we come back after this quick message from Skyhill USA.
I was actually starting to make videos towards the end of high school to try to go to college for gymnastics, and I ended up having shoulder surgery. I tore my labrum, and that was it for gymnastics. A friend got me into CrossFit, and then when I heard about Grid, the original one, I did everything I could to try to be part of the league. I use a lot of grips, and these are just my favorite pair that I've ever touched. The way these are just sewn on and with that padding, it's a whole new dimension in terms of grips for CrossFit. And when you lock onto that bar like you're supposed to with these things, they just lock you in. These are probably the only grips I'll use.
Peachy athletic shorts, guys. Just saying. Looking peachy.
And the peaches are great. They're really stretchy. They're soft.
I like the fit, I like the fabric, and it makes me just feel more comfortable while I'm working out. I don't have to worry about things coming out.
Love training in these shorts, love competing in the shorts. They stay put. Got a really nice thick waistband.
They definitely pass the squat test and the booty test. They're really comfortable. Like I could wear them out and I could wear them on the floor.
But still feel covered, but able to do all the movements.
Go get yourself some.
I'm a marketing specialist and also a fitness enthusiast. So I kind of do a little bit of everything, a little bit of gymnastics, a little bit of lifting, but I'm also a person who gets really bored with eating the same things. I like that Rebuilt has made it a lot easier for me to meal prep because it takes out a bunch of meals that I don't need to now prep. When I'm at work, I can just heat them up really quickly, or if I'm working from home, I can heat them up really quickly. And it just makes the time when I do get home after work or after the gym a lot simpler because I have those meals ready to go. I track most of my macros. You can scan them super easily, put them in MyFitnessPal. It's easy for me then to plan the rest of my meals with the rest of the macros that I have left for the day because it tallies it up super simple for me. Super clean food while also tasting really good. I feel like I'm getting a good healthy amount of protein, carbs, and fat per meal. I like the lifestyle line. It allows me to have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more carbs. I feel good going into training. I'm ready to go. It makes my life super simple and I really like them.
Welcoming you back into the action. We are set and ready to go for the ringer point race. We're going to get this started. Joe, as they get started, take us through what to expect.
All right, well, this is a little bit of a standout type of ringer point. It was chosen by the Aces, and we're going to tell you all about it. We've got 60 toes to bar. We're going to send out 2 players on each team. This is a bodyweight specialty, of course. 2 players, 60 toes to bar. You're going to see the waterfall going on here. 2 players from each team on this rig at the same time, chipping away, trying to do these as fast as possible without any faults, ideally.
Daryl McNeil and Alex Velez lined up for the Aces. Husband and wife, Tyler and Carrie Billington, lined up and started for the Gainesville Wild.
It's just like we talked about. This is at waterfall. So as the feet touch, the next rep starts for their partner. Essentially just trying to go back and forth and see who gets the 60 and who's going to sprint off that grid first.
Again, not only difficult for the players, I would gather it's pretty challenging for these referees to count this waterfall effect right now. A few faults on the side going down for the Wild.
See, once again, comes the communication. Billington, well, both are Billington. He was holding, just dangling there while she was continuing to get reps. So communication, break in the waterfall. There you go. Race goes to the Aces. 2 points going to them. Now, in order for the Wild to receive 1 point, they would need to finish within 20% of the time that it took for the Aces to finish, which I think we are currently watching that tick away.
Absolutely, and it seems like that was the knockout blow. The Aces take the ringer point race, so they take 2 points.
6 races.
If they weren't able to finish within 20%, that means the Wild will get 0 points. And again, that might just be the knockout blow for the Gainesville Wild. It's almost tough to watch. I do think they're going to bring it together, and they will finish off strong as they normally do, as we normally expect from them. But just an absolute strong showing.
Yeah, a beating. Listen, the Aces are giving the Wild a beating. The beating that they probably wanted to give them in the Northern Conference Championship when they met last year. They're giving it to them now. It doesn't put the Wild out of the Northern Conference Championship, though, so they need to stay strong. They have to continue to get the points and keep that point differential as close as possible, because we don't know what's going to happen with the later match.
Yeah, and speaking of points, one of the men that just got the points for the Aces is lined up with Cassie. Cassie, how's he feeling?
I'm out here with McNeil and Velez of the Orlando Aces. Guys, were you planning on being the ones to waterfall those toes to bar?
Yes, ma'am. If I'm being completely honest, the plan was to take the L but not lose by more than 20%, because I am long and not fast at toes to bar, but we stuck to our game plan and it worked out.
Yeah, he said it perfectly fine. That was the game plan, and we stuck to it, and it worked in our favor, so here we are.
All right, I like it. There we go. Thank y'all so much for your time, and good luck on the rest of your match.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Now, I mean, they weren't even expecting to take the W there. But, you know, like you said, we've been saying all match long, they've stayed calm, cool, collected, and they were able to come out with a W. Looking to maybe sweep the entire match. We'll see if they can do that coming up next after this short break.
Big goal of mine is to share my story, to inspire others. Once I got back to the States, during hard chemotherapy rounds, I was back in remission, but now this time I needed to have a bone marrow transplant. After another round of chemotherapy, I then endured a fungal infection that was going to my brain. Very close call. Had 5 surgeries in 6 days. But I battled through, fought through, and survived. Made it to my bone marrow transplant. Took about 11 months for my blood to start reproducing again. You know, through that time, I still continued to train. I continued striving to just be the best I can be and do the best that my body could do. So I preach health and fitness because it saved my life, not once but twice. I will continue to tell my story on why I eat the way I eat. Every day, you know, I'm eating clean. Carnivore snacks, you know, it's just legit salt and your protein, and that's it. They all taste great. I look forward to snacking on them every day. Being a busy dad, I get to snack and not forget to eat while I'm taking care of my 14-month-old son. So carnivore snacks is great. I definitely highly recommend it.
Let's not waste any time. Welcome on back to live stream. Joe, Jack and Jill is next. First of the final 2 races. What are these bodyweight specialists going to do?
All right, so looking ahead at the Jack and Jill, 1 male, 1 female work together to complete the race. 3 stations of body weight elements. Looking at today's movements, here's what we got. Bar muscle-ups, there's going to be 30 of them in quadrant number 1. Quadrant number 2 will be 20 ring muscle-ups and then 5 backward rolls to support in quadrant 3.
Teams are set. They are off again. A body weight specific race. And right now it's a total score of Aces 14, Wild 5. Like you mentioned before, Wild's playoff hopes are still within reach, but that point differential will come into play. So extremely important to try and get as many points as they can with these final 2 races. And again, we saw it in the South, week number 1. This is a race that may not be finished, and you can find yourself getting 0 points.
Yep, absolutely. And we're watching these teams once again work with that butterfly technique, waterfall technique for these bar muscle-ups. So essentially, one player waiting at the top of the rig until the other reaches full lockout for each rep to count. Now, hand is in the air on the side for the Wild. Hand has not gone up for the Aces just yet. Now we're looking at the Wild. 3 reps remaining on those muscle-ups. Oh, and I take that back. Back over with the Aces. We're watching David Blatt go ahead and start chipping away at 20 ring muscle-ups.
Notice his rings, though. So the rings are swaying a lot, making him have to stop and control at the top. A little bit extra time. Griffin Roll looks a little bit more efficient right now.
Yes, both of them actually working with what we call the butterfly ring muscle-up. Obviously, a ring muscle-up, very difficult. This is a much more difficult muscle-up as they have to drop in from the top. As you can see there, there is a good video about it you'll see on commercial break, but in any event, it makes it a little more efficient. Both teams trying to work on that, but now it looks like the Wild are going to pull ahead.
Time for those 5 backwards roll to support. Here's the FGL rookie himself, Christian Alvarez Diaz out of Colombia.
And sorry, that was my mistake. I meant the Aces were going to pull ahead to those backward roll to support. Only 5 reps for them to go to the finish line, which they have now already done off the screen.
Plenty of time for Adams and the Wild, but yeah, the Aces just...
2 reps left for the Wild. 2 backwards.
Yeah, like we said, putting the North on notice, you know?
Putting the entire grid league on notice.
Putting the grid on notice.
You were here in Orlando a few months back when the North took on the South, and they swept the South handedly. Aces doing the same here with the entire Northern Conference and sweeping the entire Northern Conference. And again, it's a point differential game for the Wild right now. They got their 1 point there. They're looking to maybe get as much as 3 points in this sprint relay coming up. Or are the Aces looking to put the cherry on top and sweep the entire match, winning every single race?
Well, I mean, I don't see how the Aces, the Aces are likely going, well, we can't assume anything here. Anything's possible. Aces have won almost every race, if not every race, through this entire match. I would like to see the Wild throw their bonus flag and then go with everything they got and try to get that extra point, because that will cut that differential. At this point, we're looking, I think unofficially the score 14-15, Aces over the Wild.
It's a large lead. The stakes are set. Wild, can they sweep every single race? We'll see when we come back.
My name is Lacey Boyd. I am a utility player for the Orlando Aces. I tore my ACL during one of the grid races called the Mirror. It was 10 hang power clean, but on the 8th or 9th rep, I felt like a pop in my knee, and I was like, well, that's not good. But I just kept going and didn't really think anything of it because I've never been injured before.
The video that she showed seemed like a very minor injury. However, she tore her ACL. She tore her meniscus. She had a displaced bucket handle tear, which is a serious issue. As a former CrossFitter and a former athlete and a sports trained orthopedic surgeon, that's an important part of what I do as a sports medicine physician is I look at the athlete's specific sport, the movements that are involved, and we tailor the rehab to get people back to their particular sport.
If you get injured, take the time your body needs to recover. Be very patient with yourself, both physically and emotionally. It's really like, you kind of feel like you're alone when it happens initially because like none of your other friends or family are feeling the way that you do. You feel like not helpless, but in a sense you feel like you lost your independence at the time, but just listen to yourself, listen to your doctor, and it's just a minor setback to fling you forward. It's all gonna end up better than what you expected.
Welcome back, folks. All the equipment and rig that you see on the screen there brought to you by Valor Fitness.
Stakes are set. It's been an absolute sweep. Official score right now, Aces 16, Wild 6. Victor gets 3 points. As long as the other team finishes underneath that time cap, they'll get 1 point. I don't know if it's ever been done. I'll have to confirm. The Aces look to win every single race in this roll-up match. Wild looking to make up as much ground as possible in that point differential game right now. It's 10-point differential. Could be even more, which would not stand well going into a chance at championship weekend, but everything's up in the air. You never know. All we know right now is the Aces have locked up a spot at championship weekend, looking to put the cherry on top for this sprint relay. What do we got?
All right, well, we got the sprint relay coming up. Now, this is a relay race in which 4 male and 4 females must finish 8 different elements. Players may substitute at any time except after performing the final repetition of a given element. Now, after performing the final rep of the element, the player must return to the start zone to complete a 4-point touch before sprinting to the finish line and completing the element. Now, let's look ahead at these elements for today's sprint relay, starting off with 10 60-pound double dumbbell shoulder to overhead, then 20 handstand push-ups, 4 back uprise, 3 legless rope climbs, an 80-foot flip sled plus 100 pounds added, 20 chest to bar pull-ups, 6 45-pound plate handstand step overs. That's a handstand where they're going to walk over that plate and then back to the other side, and then finishing things off with 3 315-pound cleans. Squat or power is fine.
These teams are set. You got 10 seconds on the clock. Alex Hollings starting up for the Aces. Amanda Fisher for the Wild. 10, double dumbbell short overhead, 60 pounds. Alex Hollings is scooting back as he's doing this. He's probably going to hand off to Stallings. Stallings will go ahead and finish this out. She'll most likely be done for the remainder of this match. Fisher is done. Wild will be first over to the wall for the handstand push-ups. It's going to be Willard for the Wild.
The Aces are probably confident in the other elements as they move along this race, if they're willing to take the time to have Stallings take, substitute in on that one last rep.
Yes, Medeiros, usually we see her in the handstand wall. We see her now. She's going to finish at the same exact time as Willard, and they'll cross the finish line together. Here comes David Blatt.
And Billington for the Wild now. They've got 4 back uprise. It's essentially a reverse muscle up.
done. Billington's done. Sprint to the finish. Neck and neck right now. Wild are not going out without a fight. Angel Serrano for the Aces. Patrick Long for the Wild. 3 legless rope climbs. And Serrano just bounced off the ground.
1 rep remaining for the Wild.
Yana Babbitt.
They're going to do another substitution here.
Yana Babbitt, excuse me. She'll finish. So they're looking, maybe using Long later on, not sure.
And you did have Babbitt, correct. It's misspelled for us, but yes, that is Babbitt coming off the grid.
Alex Hollings through 2 quadrants.
They've got about a 25-foot lead. This is an 80-foot grid, 20 in each quadrant, and he's in quadrant 4 as he is just finishing for the Wild in quadrant number 2.
Hollins is through. McClellar for the Wild. 1 quadrant to go. Here comes Hollings this time.
Yep, and she's going with 20 chest to bar pull-ups. She's already got 5 or 6 down, and they have not quite gotten that the flip sled through the finish line. Now, Megan Adams for the Wild. She's going to start chipping away at her 20 chest to bar pull-ups.
Kayla Hollings is through. That's going to leave 2 elements. It's going to be Jeanette Duran going onto the floor for the handstand step-overs. Adams is done.
Walking with her hands from one side of the plate to the other. Each down and back is 1 rep, and they've got 6 total plate handstand step-overs.
As Duran is done, Adams comes through for the Wild. Ryan DeMatti looking to finish it off. 3 cleans at 315 pounds. It's the first time we've seen it all season long here in 2023. The Orlando Aces win every single race in roll-up. First team to do it in any match this season. And the Orlando Aces will go undefeated in the Northern Conference regular season. And they are going to championship weekend in the FGL. Griffin Raleigh will